Hello world, and we're back, and I'm Kyle Fischl. This should be poker vlog number 14, and the light went out. I haven't been making as much videos as I've wanted to lately. It's because school's back in session. I'm actually pursuing my master's degree, a little over halfway through it, and I kind of got a promotion at work, so a lot more learning and responsibility, and you know, it's a fun time actually. But anyway, that means more busy, less time to focus on poker. But it's Friday night, February 22nd or 23rd, and we're gonna go to the old card house and see if we can make some magic happen. Alright, so for the recap of the hands from my last session, thought I'd choose a new location to talk about it. This is New Smyrna Beach, Florida. It's close to Daytona. Pretty much the closest beach you can get to if you're in the Orlando area. So when I play, I try to keep, you know, a mental note, like watch every other player at the table, figure out their game and their tendencies. That's how anyone's going to be successful at poker. Any book you read, you know, the first thing they talk about is paying attention to your opponents. So that's going to be the theme of this episode. The first hand that I play that kind of was interesting, I had King 4 suited, I believe it was spades. And the only reason I choose to play this is because the game I was playing at was at a Friday night, and the table was very, very soft. Like, the opponents were not very good, so I believe that, you know, I could punish the limpers when I was in position, had a decent hand, and we see what happens. So 4 limpers to me. I have King 4 spades. I make it $35. 2 people call. So the flop is Queen 4 deuce of spades. So honestly, not even a bad flop for me. Flop top pair, I mean middle pair, but it's not bad. Anyway, an early position player donk leads for $40, and it kind of caught me off guard because it made very little sense in my mind, and it kind of piqued my curiosity in the way that I had to just peel one and see what happened. So yeah, I call, the other guy folds, and we go to a turn card, which is another queen. And now he checks to me. So now I think that there's plenty of ace highs I can actually get value from. And I think, you know, pocket pairs from like, you know, 8s to jacks may fold. Smaller pocket pairs probably fold too. So I put out a bet of 60, and he quickly calls. I'm not too happy with that. I'm kind of just planning on giving up now, unless a really good card comes on the river. Well, the river's an ace, and when he checks to me, you know, now I don't even beat the ace highs that could have peeled. So I just check it back, and he shows Queen 9. So kind of odd. You know, I didn't really expect him to have that hand. You know, he has trips, but either way, we're just going to store that in our memory bank because, you know, a few hands later, I battle with the same guy, and, you know, same table, lots of limps, so I look down at King Queen offsuit. I choose to bet to 40, you know, after 4 or 5 limpers. Same thing, 3 people call, so, I mean, 3 ways to a flop, which comes Queen 6-3, all offsuit. And now, the same player, he donk leads again for 60, a little bit bigger this time. Now me, you you know, we kept in our memory bank what he did last time he donk leads, so we're pretty happy with it. So donk leads to 60. We got top pair, you know, good kicker. We think we're ahead of him. I raised to 150, a size that I think top pair, if you're gonna donk lead for 60, has to call. And he does. He makes the call, only one. Turn is another 3. Pretty good card because, you know, it's very unlikely he has a 3, and it improves no draws. So when he checks to me, I actually go all in for about 325. And he thinks about it for a while. Now, it's also important to pay attention to that this player was on a very large, like, upswing. He had like 3,000-4,000 in front of him at a 2-5 game. So 300 is really not that big for him. So that's kind of why I chose the sizing that large, because I believe he's going to pay it off with just top pair, no kicker. And he eventually calls, and he does show Queen 9 again. The exact same hand. This time we have a better hand. We take it down pretty good size pot. Last hand that was kind of interesting. I'll preface it by saying the player I was against in this hand was a different player who seen him play one hand where he raised pretty big, and on the flop bet and 3-bet huge all in with the nuts. So I've only ever seen him bet huge with nuts, so kind of a bad person to play against when this hand leads him betting big. Anyway, so under the gun, that player makes it 30. There is one caller. I'm on the button with pocket kings, and I make it 150, and the player I just talked about goes all in. Boy, pocket kings, 4-bet all in. That's a poker player's nightmare right there. But for this particular session, I was only into the game for $400, and I was up to about $750, something like that. And I kind of had the mentality of, if it's kings against aces, which it probably was, just one of those times for me. So, you know, I kind of talked my way into a call by saying, you know, he could have queens too, but really not believing he's doing this with queens ever. Just kind of, I don't know, aces versus kings tax, if you will. So I call, he shows aces. Not very good until we flop a king and have a clean run out for a full, you know, $750 double up. So, you know, I wish I had a picture of the table, because they took a while counting out the chips, but I don't suck out that often, so I was pretty happy to get one my way. So, you know, last Friday the session went pretty good. Everything's going pretty good. We're on a beach. And hopefully I'll have more interesting hands to talk about next week.